Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Sacred Space Coloring Corner. Yay! It's time to color again, my friends, and I am so glad that you're here with me. I have been so looking forward to this. This is one of my favorite pages that I ever designed. It's so fun, it's so cute, and I want to share with you something. Some of you may have seen this is this is one that I colored before, and this actually became the logo for my business for Sacred Space Coloring Corner. And so this is just super fun. I'm really excited to be sharing it with you because there's so many sweet little intricate pieces, and little swirlies and the mushrooms. So I'm also showing this to you guys just to give you kind of an idea of some things that can be done. Like I want to get this to you a little bit closer here. I don't know if the camera is going to freak out, but all the little details on the house and the mushrooms, isn't aren't that sweet? So we're going to color this one today. So start thinking about your colors that you're going to be use and kind of take a look at it. And before we get started, let's all just take a nice deep breath. Ooh, just breathing in and breathing out. Coloring is so good for you. It's relaxing. It relaxes the nervous system. It regulates the heartbeat. We kind of get into that flow. We get into that beautiful quiet space that we all need. It's very meditative. And I've been doing meditation for, oh gosh, over 20 years now, and have been teaching it for almost as long, and the importance of it, and how valuable it is for health, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even physically, when we can just go to that space. So for me, part of the reason that I do all this is to allow a space here on YouTube, on Patreon, on the interwebs for people to go to be able to find a moment of that peace and quiet. So I wanted to share something too. These are the pencils that we're going to be using. You guys know these are my favorite, Castle Arts. And this is the 72 pack, right? So we got all these wonderful colors. Castle Arts is not a sponsor, but I love their products so much. So I always let you guys know who and what I'm using. I kind of got some of them out of order, I think, but that's okay. That's okay. I use pinks and I use yellows so much. Look at, they're all starting to get short. They're getting short already, which is why I am trying these today. I don't know if these are showing up backwards to you guys. Sorry if they are. They're Cezanne, and I've been kind of playing with it a little bit, and it's very soft, like the Castle Arts. That's why I like doing the Castle Arts. But I've just played with it a little bit, so I don't know. We don't have a lot of longevity. And so, what I was going to do, just to have a color swatch for that, I'm going to do it on the back side. Oh, look at that. Just kind of on the back side of this one. That is a lovely, isn't that beautiful? Look at that a little bit closer. That beautiful swatch. So it's kind of along the lines with this lemon yellow, these ones right here. Ooh, yummy, yummy, delicious. So now, it's funny when my crayons kind of start getting short. I'm like, oh no, what if I run out? What happens? So now I did this, and I got this one, and I got a pink one. It hasn't come yet. So I'm going to be using a lot of yellow in this. And in my other house that I did, I've got a yellow house there. So I'm going to do a different color for the house and do some different colors in there. But I love this yellow. I'm tempted to do the yellow. So let's all just kind of get started. Grab your favorite color. Grab your favorite color, the color that you want to start this journey with. I always get stuck. Like when I first get started, when I first getting started, it's like so often I'm not sure where to start. And it's almost like not anxiety, but it's a little bit like, oh, it's excitement. It's like, oh my gosh, a new project, and I don't want to mess it up, but I'm so excited. So usually what I do is I pick a favorite color. So today I'm going to be using yellow, be using this Cezanne beautiful yellow. It's number 01. Oh my gosh, I can't even see it. 016, I believe. And what I'm going to do, because I don't want to color my house yellow again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start coloring in all the sweet little curly cues instead. It's part of the reason I love this picture. And this is also going to be, I believe this is in my fantasy forest homes. And I'm adding it to, I've got fairies and mushroom homes coloring book that's coming out too. So this is going to be available in a couple of the books just because it's so beautiful and it's so sweet. It's such a sweet little house. So let's get started on coloring. And our little saying down here at the bottom is home is where the heart is. You know, we hear that a lot. Home is where the heart is. And wherever our heart is, we can call that home. And, you know, we all have many places in our life that is home that we've called home. You know, home where mom and dad is, home, maybe you had a good friend that you always felt at home and welcome. You know, home sometimes is when we go to college, right? And we stay in the dorm and we begin to expand our experience, expand our knowledge and wisdom. That could become a home. Home is sometimes the place that we create with our spouse or our significant other, where we maybe start with children, right? And we start having a family of our own. We start having a world of our own that we create. That can be home. But it's always where the heart is. And it's important that we have home. It gives us a place to be grounded. It gives us a place where we can always find our center, where we can always find ourselves. And oftentimes in spirituality, which you guys know of that I am a spiritual teacher, right? It's this is an offshoot of what I do. But it's so important that we find a home base, a homeness within our own selves. And that's where meditation comes in a lot of times. We find home within ourselves. And I have a little saying that says, love yourself, because that's where God is, right? And it doesn't mean God isn't elsewhere, but God is within. You know, the great teachers have told us, and the great teacher Yeshua ben Joseph, told us that the kingdom of heaven is within, that they'll tell you to look there and look there, but the kingdom is truly within you. And that's where we connect to the divine, to God, in whatever way you believe in God, right? We all have our own ways, and I'm not here to teach religion or anything like that. That's not my jam. But spirituality is my jam. Spirituality is connecting to these higher parts of ourselves, right? Connecting to these beautiful aspects of ourselves that are so precious and so wonderful. And that's where home is. That's one aspect of home. Ooh, I'm loving coloring these curly cues. And so today, as we're doing our coloring, think about what home is for you. And think about if you have enough home in your life. Excuse me, do you need more home maybe? Maybe more home would make you feel more grounded, safer. That's one of the words that I associate with home is safety. Maybe not even physical safety, but like emotional safety. Just something to think on. These Cezanne colors are very soft and yummy. I am loving it. But you know how things go around here. We got to get the pink. We got to get the pink out. I'm trying to think, which color pink do I want to do? We're doing yellow. I don't know if I want to do like a rose pink. What do you guys think? Kind of a rose pink, or maybe a more rich, kind of reddish pink there. Decisions, decisions. So let's see. What did we do here? Did I just take you on my journey with me? I don't know. I kind of want to do kind of a warmer pink with that yellow. Let's try that. Let's try that. Let's do this one is cherry pink. So that's this one. It's a little bit brighter, a little bit more vivid. And I'm going to do actually the face part of the house. I'm going to get that in there. I'm going to get that color kind of the foundation. Oh, don't forget to get your sharpener too. This is going to be a big project today. And we may not get it done, but we're going to get a lot of it done. And so what I'm even going to do, guys, I'm going to turn this sideways so I can get in here and color this. And I'm coloring it very lightly, right? We're going to come back in. We're going to do highlights. Oh, this is almost red. Oh, I like this with the yellow. Look at, there's a little bit of it down in here. Ooh. Doing it just very lightly because we're going to come back in. We might brighten it up. We might leave it light like this, right? There's kind of a wood grain in this, in the way this is put together, which is kind of fun. We can add highlights in there in a bit, but let's get this in there. And don't be afraid to move. Don't be afraid to move your page too. I know I've been watching a lot of videos where people are coloring on the videos, and a lot of people keep it so straight, and I'm like, I just can't do that. So we're not worrying about that here. We're just getting the color on right now. I did do a little bit of the yellow on the wood grain there. I'm probably going to go over that. I'm probably going to get another color in there. And I'm just doing it again, like I said, nice and light. Home is where the heart is. Home is where the house is. And it's interesting because right here we have like a conjunction between where the mushroom's coming in and maybe where the house is. And on this side, the house is kind of tight in. But on this side, it's kind of out because we got this part of the house there. So I'm going to bring this beautiful cherry in here into the shaded part there. And again, I want to welcome everybody who's watching this, whether you're watching it live or watching it a little bit later. I just want to welcome you. This is just so fun to do this. And I'm so grateful that you're here. That you're here to color together. Coloring is a joyful thing. Coloring is for joy. One of the things that makes my life joyful is to bring joy into your life. Like really joy, like that kind of joy where we just let go of the world. The world out there is a little bit crazy these days. And I like to have a nice, safe, sweet place where I can rest. Those are the places that I call home. And part of the reason I chose this picture here is because home is where the heart is. And I wanted all of us to kind of connect into that. I'm doing this a little bit darker up there. I know that this is going to be, and there's some beautiful little details here. Ooh. I'm going to do those a little bit darker in there. And look at that. And so we've got like a little window here. We've got a window here. These are all part of the house that's beginning to grow into the mushroom. So how do we want to treat that color there? Right? Because it's part of the house, I want to have a little part of that red. Have a little part of that red on this. Maybe on the sills or the stoops, as we might call that. That kind of gives me I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that one yet. I need to bring another color in there. But look at that already. Look at that already. It's already looking like fun. It's already looking beautiful and colorful. And that's the thing that I love about this too. This is like there's so many different colors in there, right? It's almost like there is no color scheme. It's like all the colors, all the colors are the color scheme. So let's keep coloring. Let's keep coloring. So I've got red and yellow. I want to bring a nice purple in right now. I want to bring a pretty purple in, something to just brighten it up. And one of the things I do want to bring into this is I want to bring this purple into the stems of these mushrooms. And so I'm going to go ahead and just start bringing the color purple in. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the caps, but I want to bring a lot of this purple in. I want the mushrooms to be purple. And the mushrooms are kind of growing out of this house, right? And I noticed that these mushrooms, they have a lot of like lines, like they're kind of wrinkly, right? And so that's how I'm kind of bringing this color in. Instead of actually coloring in the mushroom, I'm actually going to be coloring it in with multiple colors. And so when I bring this color in, then I kind of begin to find where I want to bring it in for the house, right? It's like, okay, so now we're going to use it here, or if at all. Or if at all. We can do it any way we want to. But I love this purple. I'm actually going to bring some of the purple up under the cap here. When I color these, the last time I was coloring these, I was thinking about, you guys are going to think I'm silly, but I was thinking about like magic mushrooms, right? Like how people take these mushrooms and have these journeys. We'll call them journeys. And they have like spiritual experiences and stuff like that. And so it's kind of interesting. It's like, ooh, and this is growing out of the house. So I kind of keep in mind, it's like this might be a magic mushroom, right? This might be a magic-y mushroom that's creating this beautiful mystical house where anything can happen, where magic and mysteries abound. Oh, I like that in there. I do some of the thicker pieces here. And then I want some purple on this house. I want these little egg shape. I want just kind of a little bit of a boundary around there. Sharpen my pencil. So while we're coloring this, a little something to think on, because this is something that you can do when you get into a beautiful state of, excuse me, relaxation, is to be thinking on What what would you like what would you like to manifest in your life? Let's think about that while we're coloring. Home is where the house is. Home is where the heart is. It's where peace and harmony is. It's where love is. It's where we're safe. So now we're at home. We're connecting to home, the home within, that sacred divine presence within us that is home, an aspect of home. And so from this safe place, what are some things that you would like to manifest, that you would like to bring into your life? What are some things that you think would be wonderful to benefit your life? And while we're coloring today, let's think on those things. Let's think about that. So I'm going to pull in a blue right now, kind of an aqua blue. This is called cobalt turquoise. So not an aqua blue, a turquoise blue. I'm going to turn this little runner off here so you can see a little bit more. Whoops. Oops. Sorry. So you can see a little bit more. And bring in this blue one. We need some blue in here. And as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking this is all kind of part of the mushroom here, these little windows. I'm going to bring this blue in here. But back to what I was talking about. What do you want to bring into your life? We're in this beautiful state right here. We're kind of sharing together, spending some time together. You're starting to get into a beautiful kind of relaxed state of mind. This is a really great place to manifest from. And manifesting means putting energy into what you really want for your life. What do you want for your life? Do you have something that you really would like to have or experience? We're really powerful creators. We're very powerful. The creative source, the source of creation, whatever word we call that. So many people call it God, but some people just say universe or whatever. I like to use the word God. But that energy flows in us. We're part of that creative energy, and just by that very acknowledgement, we can acknowledge that we're creating things. We're creating things. We can create things. We can create the things that we want, and oftentimes we create like unconsciously. So we're creating stuff. It's like, oh man, that was a mess, right? It's like, oh, why did I do that, or why did that happen? And a lot of times it's just from unconscious, maybe belief systems, maybe ideas or ideals that we have that we're not even sure how we came by. But when we start thinking of the possibility that maybe we can create things, and we start learning that if we line up and think about the things that we do want, how maybe we can affect those outcomes, how maybe we can begin to bring those things into what is called manifestation in our lives, right? And what if we really can? What if we really are these beautiful, amazing, powerful beings that can do anything? So you don't even have to believe. You don't even have to believe. What if you just say, what if? What if I can? What if I can really manifest anything I want? If I can really have anything I want? What would that mean for me, right? What would that do for me? What would that do for my life, my friends, my family? And what if we just thought about focusing positively on what we wanted for a week? What would you like? Do you need a new job? Would you like to have the means to take a vacation? Would you like to be able to get something that you want? Or would you like to just have peace and quiet? You're allowed to just have peace and quiet. Ah, this little tip keeps breaking. You might need to choose a different orange. Let's use this one. I'm going to use this orange for around this door here. A lot of the great thinkers and great spiritual teachers say that, we're able to manifest what we want when we can focus our mind, when we believe. Stand at the door and knock, it shall be opened, right? So, what if maybe instead of saying, oh, that doesn't happen or I can't do that, what if we just tried it for a while? What if we just said, you know what? I'm going to think positively. I'm going to put that effort in. I'm just going to do it. What if? What if it does work? What if my thinking can create some really cool stuff for my life? What if I decide to go and just be positive about it? I wonder what would happen if we did that. I wonder what would happen if we just said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to allow it to happen. I'm going to allow myself to come home to a part of me that is important, to a part of me that's maybe even been very quiet and dormant and not able to express itself for a really long time. What if we decided right here at Sacred Space Coloring Corner that we were going to allow ourselves the experience of creating something that we really want to create? And we can do it. This is the fun part. Get ready for this, guys. We can do it while we're sitting here coloring. We can begin to allow this beautiful energy of creation to begin to start its work right here while we're sitting here just coloring. And how we do that is while we're coloring, we just kind of start thinking on what it would be like if we had the thing, maybe the situation that we desire. What would it be like? And we're coloring and we're just thinking, boy, I'd like to be on the beach in Hawaii. Just feeling like what it would be nice to be on the beach in Hawaii. Or even, it'd be fun being on the beach in Hawaii and in a beautiful little mushroom house like this one. That would make it even more fun, huh? What would it be like if you could be on vacation anywhere in the world right now? What would it be like if you had the car that you would really, really desire to have? What would it be like if you were in a really healthy, loving relationship? What would that feel like? And while you're coloring, just start thinking on that. Like, wow, what would that be like? What would that be like to come home from work every day and have somebody at home who's so excited that you're home, who's so excited that you're there, that welcomes you with happiness and joy? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. So happy you came home. So happy you're here. So happy you're in my life. So grateful for you. Happy, healthy relationships, loving kindness in your life. What would that be like? And then just color. How simple is that? How sweet and simple are the possibilities if we'll just let them be? If we just give them the what if? What if I can have this? What if this is real? What if I really can do that? Wow. Just coloring, just enjoying the experience. And you'll notice that as you begin to relax, that you kind of start breathing a little bit deeper, right? You start breathing a little bit deeper, nice deep breath. Ooh, doesn't that feel good? Just breathing feels good. A lot of times when we have stress in our life, we don't really breathe deeply, and we need to breathe. We need to take those nice deep breaths. I need to take those moments. And you guys will notice that after about 10 minutes or so, after about 10 minutes or so of coloring, you kind of start getting in the zone. You're able to just kind of take in the words that I'm saying, but just really gently, right? Just positive statements, positive thoughts. Your nervous system begins to calm down. You begin to realize that life's pretty dang sweet. It's a lot of really good things. A lot of really good things. They're not always apparent, you know. Sometimes the good things just seem kind of elusive. But when you calm down, when you slow down enough to kind of tap into that, you begin to be more aware. You begin to be more aware of that presence. You begin to be more aware of a presence that's kind of a little bit greater than you. I mean, you're pretty great. Don't get me wrong. You're pretty great. But there's something inside of you, something that's powerful and beautiful. This connection to whatever divine thing that you believe in, or none at all, just you. And in that, that's a very powerful awareness. There's a lot of new thought leaders and teachers that say what you think about, you bring about, right? Oh, turn in the page for a little bit here. What you think about, you bring about. How awesome is that? If I really can affect the outcome and my ability to be happy, have the experiences and the the love and the peace and harmony in my life, I can really do that. That's pretty amazing. That's really amazing. But you're never going to know if you don't try it, right? You're never going to know if you don't just be like, all right. And you don't have to be like 110% about it. But make that effort. Be aware of when you're thinking on what you want and desire, and when maybe you're thinking thoughts that kind of go against it. Like, oh, I'll never find a job, or nothing ever goes my way. When you kind of start thinking that way, you're creating too, right? You got to be careful about what you're saying to yourself. Got to be careful about what you're thinking. And we are so often just on automatic pilot. So many of us are. I catch myself all the time. And I teach this stuff to people. This is part of what I teach is consciousness. I have an academy that's actually an accredited academy of spiritual teaching that's called Conscious Living Academy. And we have all kinds of classes and spiritual growth classes. And so even though, I teach it and everything, I still have to be really careful because it's easy to get off track. It's easy to get caught up in what seems to be, the, oh my gosh, nothing ever works out, right? It's like, oh my gosh, no matter how hard I try, it just seems like nothing ever works out for me. It's so frustrating. Keep trying to get a job, trying to get a job, just not happening. But you know what? You never fail if you never give up. You never fail as long as you keep trying. There is no failure. Even if you stop trying, just gives you an opportunity to try something else. So you're not really stopping trying. You're just taking a break, trying something else, maybe. Isn't that a great thought? Isn't that a great thought? It like takes the pressure off. Maybe it's all just okay. Maybe if we just be careful about what we think, and when we catch ourselves thinking things that we don't want, like, I'll never get another job, maybe we just stop and just kind of go, well, wait a minute. Of course I'm going to find a job. Never is a really long time. Let's do a little bit of greenery. Let's get some depth into this picture here. Start doing some of the green stuff. I always like doing this kind of in the middle, Kind of gives me a little bit more perspective. And really, everything, even life, is about perspective, right? Just like what we're talking about here today. It's perspective. It's what you place your attention on. It's where the energy is. And it's what you're creating. It becomes the creation. It's all about perspective. It's kind of cool because if that's true, if that's true, perspective is a part of the mind, right? So what's happening in the mind. And so we can change our mind. Sometimes it takes a bit of an effort. Sometimes it takes a while to change the activity of the mind, but we can change it. We're in control of the mind. A lot of us don't realize we're in control of what we're thinking. We can stop our thinking and change our thinking anytime. How crazy is that? To think that maybe we've been in control the whole time. We just didn't know it. Yeah, and that's crazy to think about, huh? Maybe we've been in control the whole time. We just didn't know it. Maybe now that we know it, we can start getting getting things lined up for the way we want it. It's trippy to think, huh? So what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of outlining a little bit. I've got a little bit of this mossy green, just doing some outlining stuff. And you know what I'm doing is I'm just kind of moving towards what I'm feeling, kind of feeling these little things, kind of starting to feel these little ferns here. I love ferns. Ferns always reminded me of fairies. When I was little, I for a long time I lived up near the redwood forests, and we used to go and take walks in the forest. My mom was so good about that kind of stuff, and the smells and the dampness, And it was kind of cool because I remember the little ferns. And even though I didn't realize what fairies were really, I did. I could feel that fairy energy. I could feel that fun fairy energy. Yeah. How are you guys doing out there? Are you feeling good? It's kind of starting to come together, huh? Kind of getting a little bit of this in here. And now remember, when we're doing our greens here, you want to use a few different greens, especially when you're in a fairy forest. You want some kind of bright greens. Ooh, I'm going to bring in a really bright green here. Some bright greens in there. Maybe some of these little cute little squiggly things look like little squiggle worms. I like to bring the bright colors in down here in the shadowy parts too. It's kind of cool. It brings brightness down into where a lot of this grayscale is. Some of these long grasses that are here that are not really defined, but they are there. These little grasses down in here. There's a lot of detail in this one. Isn't this great? My gosh. There's a lot of little grasses, just single lines here, right? So fun. You know what I'm doing too? I just realized what I'm doing is I'm kind of preparing, I'm kind of framing these little mushrooms that are over here, getting them ready to get colored. I'm sneaking up on them. This over here's got a lot of different shaped creatures here. And I'm thinking there's all these little things. At first I thought they were leaves, but I'm thinking they're rocks. I think we got some rocks going on over here. And there's lots of little buds on these little plants over here too. I'm kind of accentuating them actually, kind of making them a little bit bigger, putting this pink here. Remember, remember our motto here. We can draw outside the lines too, right? We are allowed to draw outside the lines. Matter of fact, it's somewhat mandatory to learn to draw outside the lines. That just makes me happy. Ooh, who wants to do mushrooms? What color shall we do the mushrooms? They need to be something like fun. Do we want to do the classic red mushroom? Let's do classic red mushroom with the little white dots on them. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the mushrooms first, right? And I'm going to outline the little dots so that, and even outlining them a little bit bigger than they are. Might even want to sharpen your pencil a little bit. And then that way, you're kind of outlining what you're going to color. And what you're going to leave in the white. And we can come back. Everybody probably has, if you've got colored pencil kits and stuff, you'll have white pencils in there. But sometimes, especially the darker colors, it's a little bit hard to color over, like a deep color like red. Also notice in the inner parts here that there are little mushrooms hiding in there. So I just drew one just red. I just made his whole little. Look at how cute these little things are. Little mushrooms. All right. Let's color these little shrooms in. And I'm going to do them a little bit dark. I'm going to do them dark red. These are like classic fairy mushrooms, right? Classic fairy mushrooms. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the little stems. Oops. See, there I went. I colored in one of the white circles, but that's okay. That's okay. We're going to take that white. We're going to bring that white right over the red. We'll see what's going to happen. Let's get our little mushrooms colored in, and then we'll go back in with the white, and I'll show you. I'll show you what we're going to do. Look how cute those are right there in the little corner. And as of right now, I'm leaving the little stems white. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. All right, so let's get out this white pencil and let's see what happens. What happens when we color that white in there? Does it bring the white back out again? It does. It does, a little bit. Not as much as I would like. You know what would be fun? Is having a silver marker. Somebody, one of our coloring corner friends used I believe she said it was a silver marker on a unicorn horn. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. And it's just made the unicorn horn look like it was glowing. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take this white marker and go over the whole mushroom. It's almost like it's blending that mushroom in. It's blending in the mushroom. So we got that. See how that, let me show you. So it's like I did the red. And I filled in a little bit of the, let me pull it back a little bit. And then I saved some of the white in there. But even the little places where maybe I didn't color in so perfectly, then now became the little dots. And then I colored over to kind of smushed it all together. Kind of cute, huh? It worked out just perfectly. And then I did color the stems red. I might put a little squiggly red in there. Yeah, very cute. I'm quite pleased with how those turned out. Quite pleased indeed. And then we've got some little flowers over here. It's going to do a little outline on them. And let's bring in some more. I want to bring in kind of a bluish, purpley color into some of this greenery down here. I always like to bring blue into the dark little corners here. Blues and purples. Because this is almost like a little peony or something. And this up here is too. Just a different color one. So I'm going to bring purple up in here just to let it be kind of in keeping. So that you can just color right over it. In keeping with the little peonies down here. And you can color any of these. And look at this little thing. What is that right there? Is that a little mushroomy thing? Well, mushroomies are on the ground. But I think it wants to be purple. I think it wants to be like a big, beautiful little bulb. And there's no other little bulbs anywhere. It's its own unique, beautiful little self up here. I love that. Bring a little purple in here. And you know, like I do a lot of times, I don't always fill everything in like perfect. I leave some white space. I leave a little space for some of this too. Get colored, accent colors. Got a lot going on down here. So what are you guys manifesting? What are you guys thinking on? What wonderful things do you want to create for you? I just did a 180 on you, didn't I? What are you thinking on? Then I'm going to take turquoise and I'm going to start down here, these little rocks down here. I'm going to start coloring these rocks down here. Even some of them, they might be leaves. I don't know. They're going to be rocks now. Some little leafy looking things here. They're going to become rocks too. You know why? This is ours. We can do what we want with it. And your rocks can be bright fairy blue. And some of these things that might be leaves, well, darn it, they can be rocks if you want them to be. And I'm even going to put some of this blue in here and along here, along the steps here. I'm even going to bring some of this blue here around. I'm going to color some of these shadowy places in here with blue. Because I like blue. Ooh, that needs to be blue too. Look at this. Guess what we're doing? We're creating. We're creating worlds right now. How's that for fabulous? Look at, there's some more of these little peony kind of plants in here. Let's bring this. Let's bring this. There's little plants sneaking their little growing in here, being all beautiful and fabulous. See, and now we're bringing this color in here. Bringing this color in. And I'm actually, oh, I love this purple with this ferny, with this fern color right here. I'm just adding it to there. I'm just kind of fluffing it in there. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that. See? Start getting a little bit crazy and things just start taking off. Look, we got that down there. We got this here. This one right here can be a little bit more purple. We're going to name these the rare purple ferns, found only in our own little universe. I like that. The only place in the world where this beautiful purple fern is found. How are you guys doing? I know I'm spending kind of a lot of time on all the foof down here. But I kind of need some more greens, and I'm not sure what color green. That's a little bit too bright. Need a little bit more darker, ferny-ish green. No, but that'll work down here. Kind of in some of these areas where some of these ferns aren't quite colored in yet. Going to bring some new colors in. And remember, I'm not really coloring in the lines over here. I'm just kind of bringing in, and then we're going to come back through and do some highlights and stuff, right? How are we doing? Oh, we've been doing this for an hour already, guys. Try to make these not much over an hour because that's a lot. Sometimes we need to take a little break. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to finish some of this. For those of you that want to stick with me, I say we take 15 more minutes. We'll finish some of this foliage, filling in some of this greenery. And then we'll do the mushrooms because I want to show you kind of a cool way that I did the mushrooms, and then you can finish them up. And then bring them over to Sacred Space Coloring Corner on Facebook because that's where we share our stuff. And it is an open um, group as of right now. I've been starting to get some weird things going on in there, so it's probably going to get closed up here soon. We got people, trying to sell stuff and all that stuff, and that's not what we're about there. I don't begrudge people trying to make a living, but that we're just not a place to sell things. So I'm just coloring this in here just a little bit more, just to bring that. See how that just brings the color and stuff to there. And my house isn't really quite done there either. I'm just bringing some more green in here. Green, green, nitty green, green. I'm going to do a little bit of green down here. Not totally filling it in, but just kind of soft pencil, kind of green. All right. And we can finish some of this up a little bit later, but I want to play with you. Look at pencils are taking over. Scooch over pencils with these mushrooms. I want to play with these mushrooms with you because, and we haven't finished up in here either, because there's too much awesomeness going on here. But I wanted to share this whole thing because I'm doing a little bit of green here. These are like fresh roots going up here. Like fresh little tendrils. These tendrils are a little bit a part of the mushrooms themselves, right? We've got this little kind of little pink edges on this little leaf here, but it's almost like they're the mushroom leaves. Do mushrooms have leaves? I have no idea. I have no idea. Just kind of bring this in, and this has kind of got this wonderful little kind of doing the pink and the green for these leaves here, kind of allowing all of this to, all right, so bring in all the little fluffies here. So our mushroom, let's make it super colorful. All right, so we've got pink, we got purple, we've got our orange. Let's bring some yellow into this puppy. And this is the biggest one. So this is really where, a lot of this color makes a big difference. So bring the yellow into the dark spaces too, right? Yellow brightens everything up. Bring it up into here. Oh, so good, right? When you start bringing that yellow in there, kind of have a lot of yellow in this picture, but that's okay. It's okay. I'm going to bring this in, right? I'm going to bring this up here like this. And what's another color we can put in here? We have the purple, but maybe we can do, would be another shade. How about some blue? How about if we do this aqua blue? We need some of this in here too. Ooh, yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, let's bring some of that in there. And I think we're going to bring some of this aqua blue. Look at that when we bring that down in there. Oh, that's amazing. That brings all of these colors up into here. Oh, look at that. That's getting so pretty. And so what I want to do, let's get some into this guy. And what I want to do is I kind of want these mushroom caps to be blue. Right? So we can kind of do some outlining here with this. Right? And do up here. But remember, they don't all have to be the same color. So let's do this. I'm going to do the smaller ones. I'm going to have this big one be a little bit different color. So we're going to come around. We're going to bring this. And look at how the mushrooms, like they have this little shading in the caps and stuff, right? And you can see where that's in there. We're going to add some other colors in with this. So this blue isn't going to end up being, blue isn't going to end up being this color. We're going to add some other colors to this. Look at how cute that is. Got some pink right here, a little pink bud. It's kind of cool. Remember how we did the red ones down here? These ones are blue. These are different. Little bit different kind of. Right? And then I'm going to bring this aqua. I'm going to use this big Mama Jama. I'm going to make this a little bit different of a color. Little bit different. I'm going to bring a little bit of aqua into this, right? And we're doing it just kind of shady. Make sure you guys can see this. It's not too dark right now because we're going to be bringing some other colors in here. Right, we're going to bring some of that in here. We've already got the purple in there. Right. Bringing that up underneath the caps. And what I want to do is the other ones, I want to bring this color blue up underneath the caps. So it's going to kind of tie those in a little bit. You can even bring a little bit of this blue into the upper part of the caps, just so it's not completely different, that they're kind of blending together, right? But see how now that all of a sudden that's more colors all working together? How those beautiful colors and those purples and the blues work so beautifully together. They work so beautifully together. Right? Bring some of this blue into the stalks. Right, let's bring a little bit of this blue more, the kind of more turquoisey blue. And I just really just kind of color it in there, right? I'm not really making any particular statement about it. Just bringing it in. Where does that blue need to be? Look at how that's starting to blend up and be so good, be so yummy. And then I think because the purple is so delicious, I kind of want to bring some of this purple just really like up here. See how we've got this where the caps have this, and I want to do the outline with the purple. Right? See how we're doing that? So we're bringing this purple and this blue color together. And then we start doing the little accent, right? These little like mushroomy curve things here. Bringing that in. Using that purple. Look at that. Just follow those little curves. If your intuition tells you that it needs some more of those curves, do it. Let's bring this purple around. I'm drawing kind of outside the line with this here, right? Giving it a little purple aura. Remember we talked about we color outside the lines, we give it a kind of an aura. I'm going to give these things a purple aura. Up here, ooh. Right. Ooh, that purple aura. Are there any little lines on these little guys? Bring that in there. Bring that. Let those little accent bits be right there. Check that out. You guys are doing so good. This one I outlined with the blue, but I'm going to put that purple right over it. Right? Bring that in. Got these little lines here. This one's a little bit more. I'm actually just going to add a little bit of the purple to the cap and a little bit of the pink. Just kind of shading, almost like it's just like it's just a little bit in there. And that pink with the blue and everything kind of does go purple. But that's okay. Do maybe press a little bit harder, get a little bit of pink in certain areas. Check that out. A little pink in there. Ooh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. Look at that, you guys. Look what you did. And then now this is almost done. So I'm actually going to bring pink. Oh, no, not a good accent color. Blue. Bring this darker blue in here. These little bits here that aren't colored quite yet. And we don't have the front door colored. So let's do that really quick before we go. Let's bring the blue in. Just kind of anchor all this in here. That way we get the colors that we're. And we can pretty this up. We can go back over that and make it nice. I kind of like that with the blue. It just kind of gives it a little bit of definition. Up here, I'm going to take this darker blue, but I'm going to take that orange that we had and give this little roof this orange because it's going to stand out. It's going to stand out up here in this blue and stuff a little bit. complementary colors there, right? And then I'm going to do yellow. Changed my mind. I'm going to do pink up here. We don't really have a pink. We got this little blue ledge in here. There we go. Just kind of hanging out here, being all pink up there at the top. And then turquoise. This front door needs to be turquoise. It needs to stand out. It needs to be seen. It needs to say, I am the front door to the home where the heart is. So I'm going to get it in here a little bit darker. I'm going to fill it in a little bit more, being careful not to kind of blend over. Right, then I'm going to take a darker blue, even darker than that other one we had, and do this. Highlight this. Highlight the doorknob. Maybe highlight these window jambs here. Right? And I'm going to do yellow. I'm going to do this yellow all the way down here. Kind of the little, see? I can't stop, guys. I love it too much. It's going to be a longish video. I'm sorry. Sorry, but not really, but kind of. And then what I'm going to do, you know how I always do this. I bring this yellow in. Let's kind of take yellow all over everything. Give it bright, kind of a bright burnish. Not everything, but a lot of it. Just to bring sunlight into everything. Right? And then our little steps here. You know, I kind of want them to be aqua, but I'm going to do them really, I'm going to do it like really hard, like they're, I was going to do them green, like moss green, like they're covered with moss. But I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And we've got that, because what that does is it kind of carries us up into the house and then up here into, and really this up here can be colored in a little bit darker. Again, now, I'm not going to do that right now. But I think you guys have pretty much got this to where it needs to be. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. And I always love to see, you know, the different choices and the different things that you guys do. Because, you know, I get so stuck in particular colors that I use, you know, and I love seeing what colors you guys use. Now, this one I'm using a peach. Actually, it's peach. And I'm just putting some peach over here. Just kind of haven't used peach anywhere else in here. Right? And so it's just giving it a little bit of a dollop. We could even add some peach here. Maybe some places that don't have color still. Right? Just kind of add that peach in there with the rainbows that are our mushrooms. They're so cute. Look, there's a little leaf down here. It just became peach. Look at that, you guys. What a great job you did. Isn't that sweet? And so let's look at the other one that we did. Boop, boop, boop. And so it's the first one and the second one. Isn't that fun? Oh, you know what we didn't do is we didn't do, we've got to, and I'm going to use blue. We got to do these little wood. That makes a big difference on how this looks. Use the darker color. It's kind of hard to see them. See all these little lines and stuff. This I used yellow, but this one, you've got the darker color, you don't see it quite so much. But this will help to guide us in that. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? Look at that. Look at that. There we go. Better, huh? Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. There's a little bit of this going on over here. See, there's so many different ways we can do it, and every single one is just beautiful and wonderful. So cool. So cool. I'm even going to, because I can't stop. I'm going to bring some of this orange in here uh, and just kind of outline this. Going to bring it to a little bit more definition. Pretty, pretty, right? Wow. And you guys, don't forget to sign your artwork. I just saw something up here. I have no idea what this thing is, but it's getting. And also, you know what we don't have in here is we don't have any green in our mushrooms. Let's put a little green in there, right? We got some of the viney stuff. We don't really have greens. Let's put some greens in there. All right. I think we're good. I would love to see your colorings. I would love to see what you colored posted over on our Facebook group, Sacred Space Coloring Corner. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for coming and coloring with me every single week. There's some of you that are getting really um, into this, and I so appreciate it. I appreciate it being able to share my love and stuff, and so happy to make new friends and have new experiences together. So I wish you guys a great week. Keep coloring. Come on over to the Facebook group. I think we're probably going to go private with that because we had a few people poking in there. So I think we're going to make it a private group. But, you know, you let me know you want to be a part of it. And I will absolutely, absolutely let you in there. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, hit that like button, let YouTube know that you love what's going on over here at Sacred Space Coloring Corner. And come back, hit the notification button, let you know we're here every Thursday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And we are over. You can get your free coloring pages on our Patreon site, and the Patreon is free. There is an option where you can support, you know, what we're doing there for $10 the tier, but you don't have to. It's free. You just go over there. You get a free page every week, and we do this coloring video together because it's fun, and we all need a place to anchor in and find out where your heart is in your home. Home is where the heart is, and make Sacred Space Coloring Corner one of your homes where you can get into your creative flow and get a little meditative, a little positive, a little love. I love you guys. I hope you guys all have a great week. We will see you next week. And make sure that all along the way you just stay sparkly. I really appreciate you, friends. Thank you for being here. Big hug.